We're in trouble, Sleeper. Seraphim leans into the bunks as you're getting up. Without further explanation, he disappears from the corridor towards the rear. Sorry, he disappears down the corridor towards the rear of the ship. You drift out into the passage, pulling on your clothes, and you glide down the length of the rig, the cool air making you shiver. Seraphim is a silhouette silently leading the way. He stops at the far end, diverting through a side door, shooting you a glance as he does. You find Seraphim inside, holding one of a tangle of arm-thick tubes that are waving in the zero-G room, engine room. You know what these are? Fuel pipes? Seraphim shrugs. Close enough. These are the engine's feed lines. He waves one in the air. And before you ask, no, they aren't supposed to be waggling loose. What did you do? Seraphim laughs. Oh, I see how it is. These must have broken loose when we pushed the ship hard on our way out of dockside. He looks at the mess. We are lucky the reserve tank is empty, otherwise, he shakes his head, it would have been bad. But he pushes the pipe to the side. I've got some really good dice, holy shit. No feed from the reserve tank means that the rig's range is limited to the local region only. He thumps the large lumpen housing. Oh, lumpen, that's a new word. Of the engine. This thing can't take us anywhere so far. So we fix it. Seraphim sighs. That's short of it. Seraphim whacks the engine housing again, harder this time. Just been our run of luck. Just not been our run of luck. Just not been our run of luck. Got there in the end. He turns and starts gathering the tangled feed lines, his frustration evident in the violence of his movements. We will need a new set of these, that's for sure. He starts forcing them into a crate. So how about you try to track them down? I'll take a look at things here and see if I can figure out another fix for the reserve tank. He glances up from his work. From what I've heard in Hexport, Factory Row is the place to find shiplifters. Ship fitters. Why did I mix that with the word shoplifter? Learn to talk, Drake. Yeah. Maybe you can do some recon while I sort this place out. It's on the other end of the station. Alright, I'll take a look. Seraphim keeps working. Wait, Seraphim pauses, seemingly unsure. There's something else. He drops the feed lines and they float, waving in the air like tubular seaweed. I've heard word that Lane's on the hunt, he frowns. A message went out everywhere in the local radius of Dockside. He's looking for us. And we can't leave. Exactly, Seraphim sighs, which is why we need those feed lines. I'm going to try to work something out. Maybe I can improvise a solution, I don't know. He looks down. I know ship fitter. But while I do, you go hunting. See what you can turn up, okay? He smiles a weak smile. Get going. You leave the engine room, the clanking sound on Seraphim's cleanup efforts echoing through the ship. Pardon me. Fuel feed lines, that's the next step. You take a deep breath and head out. You have discovered a drive. Drives help you track and choose your objectives in Citizen Sleeper 2. They're basically quests, because they're in the first one. The arrow button in the top left opens the drive menu, where you can choose which drive to track. Once a drive is tracked, a yellow marker will be placed above any location that relates to that drive. Drives come in two types, major and minor. On completion, a major drive rewards 2 upgrade points, and a minor rewards 1. Keep an eye on the drive menu as you progress to see... to see what new opportunities and objectives are available, and track those you want to pursue. Okay, well I may as well. Exit Hexport. Major, Lane is hunting you and Hexport isn't far from Dockside. Refuel, repair, find what you need and then leave before he finds you. Well, this also wasn't okay, well, no, the drives thing was, but like telling you if a quest is major or minor, that was not a thing. I like all these things they've added to this game, man, it makes me happy. Although I have no clue what the dots above me are about. Yeah, let's play a bit of gambling. Hey, cryo. Nice. I had a feeling it would be a source of cryo. And we may as well just do this too. We've got good dice for it, so please give me a good. Fuck yeah, baby. Hexport, the busy industrial station. As you are gliding across the docking concourse, you hear a scuffle. The noise of raised voices cuts through the conversation drifting out of the dockside shops. I'm drinking a cup of tea right now, hang on. Glancing down an alley, you see a huddle of figures shouting back and forth. You spot one man in the middle of the group, surrounded, pushing the others back as they grab at the bag slung over his shoulder. You don't like the way this looks, but then again, Seraphine told you to keep your head down. I'll wait it out. You slip back from the alley entrance a little, pressing yourself against the wall. This is not your fight. You look around to see if anyone might be coming, but most of the spaces are near the docks. You hear a shout and a series of impacts, and you turn back to the alley to see figures gliding straight down it towards you. You pull back as they shoot out and disperse into the crowds, a bag in one of their hands. Sorry about that, I was tilting the rest of the drink into my mouth. And, my hand brushed against the mic, so that caused a bit of a scrooch. Bit of a scratchy, scroochy sound. There we go, that should be fine. Moments later, an imposing figure follows them out, stopping at the threshold to try to spot where the assailants went. He turns to you, suddenly spotting you lurking behind the wall. You see those scumbags? The man shakes his head. Bunch of cowards. Femi! A stubborn salvage captain. They headed into the docks. He squints at you a little, perhaps noticing you are a sleeper. New here? I'm not gonna lie to him. Right, just arrived. The man laughs. He jabs a thumb over his shoulder at the alley. Welcome to Hexport. The man pauses. I've got to ask, you didn't have anything to do with those guys back there, did you? Gestures to the alley. No? Alright, he shrugs. Had to ask. The man pats his chest. I'm Femi. He unshoulders one of the bags and pushes it towards you. Here, make yourself useful. Let's head. You get the strap of the bag over your shoulder and follow him through the docks, gliding past the concourse towards the connecting bridges. He cuts down a side passage, looking back to check that you're following. Then he stops at a docking bridge connecting to a dull green ship with yellow markings. You look out the viewing window at its odd catamaran-like shape, seemingly built from two separate hulls welded together. Symbol Crash, he says, and you assume that's the ship's name. Dope name! Femi, you bringing in strays? A young woman, brightly dressed and stretching as she glides, drifts into the passage. She glances at you. No offense. This is Naya, a headstrong and spirited salvager. I like that she's upside down. Well, Naya, if you'd come to help, I wouldn't need to find a porter. He glances at you. No offense. So they both like saying no offense, apparently. Naya sighs. What do you want about? She glances at you. I'm sorry for my brother. She shoots him a glance. For whatever he did. Naya? Femi murmurs. Enough now. He reaches over and takes the bag you were carrying. Naya rolls her eyes at you but stays silent. Factory Row wouldn't take these. Femi has the bags. I'm going to load them back up. Maybe we'll find a use for them. Sleeper, he shoots you a look. Take my advice, stop hanging around the docks like a stray. He slaps the button for the bridge door and kicks off along the docking bridge on his way to the Symbol Crash. Naya eyes you nervously. Did my brother promise you payment? I'm sorry, we don't have much to give. That's okay. She smiles a little, then glances around awkwardly. Did... Naya pauses. Something happen? Oh, I'll tell her the truth, he was attacked. Nia's eyes flash. Really? Nia shakes his head. No, Naya, not Nia, Naya. Experienced Naya? Nias checks ahead. My brother does have a habit of getting into trouble. It wasn't his fault. He raised an eyebrow. Are you sure about that? Things have been a little difficult, she sighs. Sleeper, can I ask you something? What? She takes a deep breath and gives you a direct look. What is she building up to? Are you looking for crew? She looks away. Sorry to be direct, but you seem like, well, if you're on Hexport, maybe you are with a crew. She stops herself. I mean, maybe your crew needs crew, maybe you're looking. Why do you ask? Doyle looks back at the ship, then at you. Look, I'll be honest, being on a crew with my brother is nice, but he is suffocating me. He frowns at her own bluntness. I'm not a kid anymore, you know? But he still sees me like one. He shrugs. I want to show him I can handle myself. I need experience. I need to run some contracts. She gives you a determined look. What do you say? Yeah, shouldn't I ask your brother first? That is exactly the point, she shakes her head. Sorry, shakes, not sakes. No, you should not have to ask my brother. Her eyes flare with anger. She catches herself. Sorry, she pauses. I'm a good salvager, alright? You can use me. She smiles. I can spot things, find gaps, ways in. She folds her arms across her chest. I know what I'm doing. Femi taught me well. She glances back at the ship. Just consider it, alright? Let me prove myself. Suddenly a shout comes from the ship, echoing down the passage. Femi, he makes both of you nervous. Naya looks in his direction. I should go. He pushes off towards the docking bridge. I'll be waiting. Naya gives you one last glance as she departs, then disappears into the docking bridge, leaving you alone in the passage. Okay. The warehouses. Freight storage. The warehouses are the Hexport docks, at the Hexport docks, supply the industrial operations of the station, meaning they need constant loading and restocking. Oh shit, yeah. This one really hurts my endurance. This one hurts because I don't have an endurance check. It reduces it by half? So if I have a 6, does that reduce it to a 3? Oh, I don't like that. Oh. We'll give it another go. Sure. Okay. Neutral outcome is just to get a bit more cryo. And we wanted to go to actually continue the drive we're doing. I say we... Yeah, we get some of that, we get some of that. And we end by getting some fruits. Give me your bendiest fry. Anyway, what happens if I go here? Oh, right. Well, I need the dice, and I don't have the dice. Search the row. The factory owners of the row speak mostly in terms of supply and demand, but going door to door might help you find the ship fitter you need. Haul materials. Factory row is filled with workers hauling material through its zero-G corridors. That was a loud-ass car that just passed by outside. Helping might win you some fans among the factories. Trusted supplier. The Hexport factories are picky about who they work with. Trust is a key currency here if you want to be a ship fitter. Okay, so I'm gonna have to rely on the search the row one then, because not only is this dangerous, I don't have the endurance skill to deal with it. So I kind of have to. Chaotic dockside bar. Oh, hello. Rig engine. The FIP feed lines. The engine's fuel capacity is extremely limited, but new feed lines would allow you to hook up a reserve tank to increase it. I've got to find that somehow. Oh! Sometimes it's not necessary to rest, or at least try to, in the compact bunks of the rig. This will help you reduce stress when not on contracts. I don't think I'm on a contract now, to be honest. Okie doke then. Well, let's do the thing we said we were gonna do. Oh, I got good dice as well. Lovely. Oh, could I get another one? Please? Damn it. Alright, I'll just take this one then. Please be kind. It wasn't that kind, but it worked. Export, the busy industrial... Oh yeah, we read this before, I think. Factory row howls as you glide through its cramped passages. I almost misread that as cream pied for some reason. Whatever its many bays and rooms once were, they now serve as containers for industry of every kind. Wearing manufactories... manufactories, that's a new word. I wonder if it's real. Precisely engineered components with rapidly shifting arms, while scrappers hammer incessantly at bent ship plates. Everywhere you look, there is energy and activity, and for good reason. Export itself is built on the derelict fragments of a solar reflector, and even the small amounts of energy generated by its remaining mirrors is enough to power a city of machines. It is familiar to you, of course, in a strange, far-off way, because of Darkside. That place and your memories of it are a muddy haze, but it is hard to forget the glint of its hexagonal reflectors, 10 or 20 times more in number than Hexport's, and that wild, flickering city growing on their back like a tumour. That is one hell of a simile. And in comparison, Hexport feels provincial, but deep in Factory Row, you could almost be back in Darkside. And then you see them. Tubes just like those Seraphim head waves in your face. The feed lines. Wonderful. You push over to the display window of the unit marked Cost and Supply in block capitals from cut from whole plates. There, amongst an angled shelf of oversized ship components, sit the feed lines, like some large biomechanical tangle of snakes. You slip inside where the sound of Factory Row is a little screened and spot a large figure working on a bench. Hunched over, concentrating, it seems he doesn't notice you enter. I'm gonna wait and scare the shit out of him. Carsten! Hello, you're buff as hell. The intimidating ship fitter. Yeah, I'm not surprised, he's jacked, dude. Fucking yoked, look at him. He also looks like he's wearing a sort of really cool X-Men uniform. Like, the vibe he's giving me is Cannonball. Does anyone remember Cannonball? I liked Cannonball. Anyway, you let him work, watching as, despite his heavy build, he delicately aligns the components, their layers slotting like puzzle pieces. After a few moments of observing the process, he turns his head a little bit toward you. Can I help you? His accent is heavy, but unknown to you. By heavy, do you mean he has a gravelly voice, or he speaks weird? I mean, Carsten is a sort of German name, I think. May as well just go with the compliments. Nice place you have. You see little reaction from the profile of Carsten's face. He grunts. Something you need? Before you can respond, he tracks your eyes to the feed lines at the window. He looks back at you with a subtly changed expression. One you can't quite place, but it looks like murder. He turns with surprising grace and begins cleaning his hands on a cloth. Those sharp eyes scan you, but Carsten's thick-set features do not betray the results of his assessments. Custom built those for our clients that never collected. He looks at his hands while he speaks, checking for stray oil stains. You have one of the old MEVs then? He sends out the letters in a way that you don't recognize as he speaks. You try to recall anything... I'm not going to bother with the accent. You try to recall anything you know about your ship, but the memories elude you. Perhaps Seraphim should have come along. I think so? Carsten squints a little. Right. Look, Carsten drifts over to where you are standing, his imposing height evident. For a fellow enthusiast like you, he continues in a distinctive monotone. Let's say... monotone then. Let's say a few hundred cryo unclean sheds. He shoots a glance at the feed lines. 400, let's say, to be precise. 400? 400, Carsten says back, repeating your question without the emphasis. 400. I'm making him sound like Sterling Archer for some reason. It's expensive, I know, it's a shame, but it's just what they're worth. He screws up his mouth a little into something that might be a smile. However, I'm more of the bartering type myself anyway. Barter sounds good. Costin nods sagely. There's a little favour I need a crew for, and well, you look like you might be a good fit. He tucks the cloth away in a pocket and clasps his hands. I know of an old Solheim wreck out there, very old, pre-collapse. So yeah, this is definitely in the same universe, because Solheim was a company in the previous game, and the collapse is the event that happens that leads everyone to go to the eye in the first place. It's all connected, you see. It's tucked away in a dead zone, so no one has ever really cut it, he shrugs. Not only that, but Solheim derelicts have a habit of triggering nasty security protocols when approached by an unfamiliar ship, so it's been left well alone. But a salvager like you, with an old Solheim rig, I bet he wouldn't even flinch if it saw you coming, he smiles. I'm putting a bit too much personality into his voice. I have a special interest, a need for that old tech. All those Solheim ships had a data core, and while I don't care about the accounting reports or material ledgers or whatever they kept on the damn thing, I do care about the hardware. So, if I was to find you back here, with that data core in your cargo hold, clean cut and complete, well then, I could see my way to doing a straight barter for those feed lines. Carson pauses, sniffs at the air again. You just need the coordinates. Why do you want it? Special interest. You wait for more, but his flat expression tells you that isn't coming. It's all you need, duh. So, you interested? He glances back at his workbench. Because I'm a busy man. Okay. Alright then. He holds out a heavy hand for you to shake, and as you automatically reach out, he grabs your forearm instead. Carson pulls you closer, squeezing your arm. Let's keep this one between us, alright? He half smiles, his face huge and close. It's our deal. Before you can respond, he thumbs a little drive into your palm. Those coordinates. And then he lets go of your arm with what you swear is a wink. Was he hitting on me? Because the answer's yes. You take a moment to gather yourself, and by the time you do, a whirring fills the air. Carsten having returned to his workbench. You turn and glide out of Carsten's supply with a growing mix of anxiety and excitement in the pit of your stomach and the cacophony of Factory Row in your ears. A contract. Seraphim might even be impressed. You look at the drive in your palm and smile. This could be a route out. You're thinking of leaving this place behind in possession of an improved ship too. Suddenly, a small but firm hand falls on your back, an equally small voice coming with it. Hey, wait up! Junie, a secretive data extractor. Hello, Junie. I like your design. You turn in the passage to see a young woman, her hair waving from the rapid glide she clearly just came out of to catch you. She steadies herself using your shoulder. Sorry, she smiles a quick and flat smile. Wanted to catch you. I'm Junie. I noticed because it says next to your portrait. Pardon me. Her dark eyes flicker around nervously. You notice the portable terminal she carries, something data scrapers call a deck, and her backpack full of components and trailing wires. Do I know you? She pauses, confused by the question. No? She pauses again. Carsten, she starts, still catching her breath. He sent me to grab you. She smiles that flat smile again. Wants me to come with you on that job. Her eyes shoot into the drive in the palm of your hand. She smiles again. Why didn't he tell me? She glances back towards Carsten's. I guess he forgot? He does that sometimes. She looks sheepishly at you. He just grabbed me after you two were done talking, so... Carsten's always sending me on things like this. I guess he wants me to help you out. Keep an eye on things, she pauses. That can be pretty helpful. So, she looks around the passage. Should I meet you at your ship, and you can tell me when you're ready to go? You know what, I think we should just get a crew. Maybe I could check back in with Naya and see if she'll join, but yeah. Alright. Okay, great. Her eyes light up. He notices that she still has her hand on your shoulder and takes it off. Adorable. Junie pushes off and waves. Looking forward to working with you, she calls back as an afterthought. What about the ship? Oh, I'll find it, she calls back, and then disappears down the passage. You watch her go, glad of the contract, but nervous too. Will Carsten keep up his side of the bargain if you deliver? Seraphim. I don't know about the sleeper. Seraphim looks nervously out of the rig's windows as you finish explaining Carsten's deal, as well as Junie's offer of help. If this job was easy, Carsten would have done it himself already. That means there's a catch, he frowns at the stars. And there's definitely something going on with this Junie girl, he shakes his head. I'm gonna be optimistic, I think it's a lucky break. Seraphim gives you a look. No such thing, he sighs. This is the belt. That means someone's getting dicked over in all the— Oh, we have a different swear word. We have dick. Amazing. We just have to make sure it isn't us. What if Seraphim narrows his eyes, could get the crowd together to buy the feed lines? Yeah, is that even possible within the short time frame? I'll just go with why. Costin has made an offer. You're right, Seraphim sighs. I just can't shake the feeling that we're wandering in blind. Oh, I know. Plus, Seraphim gives you a sly look. I did manage to turn something up in my station wandering. I found a contract board at the exchange further in station. He gestures towards export. We take on a job, that might get us some of the way towards buying those feed lines. Plus, even if we do want to take Carson's job, a bit of money to get ourselves prepared wouldn't be a bad idea. Fill up on fuel supplies, be ready for whatever comes. Do we have time? Probably not, but with our cry for fuel and supplies, we aren't going anywhere. Seraphim sighs. Just take a look at the contract board, see what you think. While you're at it, you might want to see if you can scare up some freelance crew too, Seraphim shrugs. Many hands make light work and all that. Or we stop messing around, we take Carson's job right now and get it done before you can think twice, Seraphim yawns. Seems like a whole set of bad options to me. Either way, I've still got work to do on the drive. Seraphim nods a farewell, heading back to the engine room. Let me know what you decide. For a moment you pause, letting the haze of plans and ideas settle in your mind. Suddenly you curl up, and I'm in pain now apparently. Pain shooting along your spine. You grit your teeth, your muscles lock tight. Your vision narrows as you squeeze your eyes shut. You feel a shift as if some connection is broken. It's almost impossible to describe, like you're floating away from your body, dispersing, dissolving. There is nothing familiar in the pain, nothing to hold on to. You grit your teeth. And then another shift comes and you are back in your body, trembling against the metal wall of the passage. Are we getting the same thing as in the... Sorry, are we getting the same thing as in the previous game? Where we just, like, go into some weird other world and we have to deal with a god in a vending machine again. And we have to deal with, like, the Hunter Protocol and the Killer Protocol and all that stuff. It could happen. And then another shift comes and you're back in your body, trembling against the metal wall of the passage. The pain slowly fades, becoming a pulsing throb and then a residual flicker. You flex in zero-G, stretching at the tension. There's a strange sensation of distance that persists beyond the pain, a disconnection between your body and yourself, a flickering numbness that refuses to recede. You wonder if the reboot has done something to your body, or if this is some new sensation you will have to live with indefinitely. It strikes you that you know so little about the body that hosts you. It could be moments away from collapse, or it might persevere for countless cycles like this. You get to live until you can't anymore. You try to shake off the feeling, pushing your hands against each other until they feel like they're yours again. Time is the only thing you need, and right now it feels like it's running out fast. You head for the airlock. You have work to do. You have locked the contract. Open the map screen to view it. Contracts are high-risk, high-reward jobs that you and your crew can take on. This was also not in the previous game. Contracts require preparation and care to succeed. You'll need to gather enough fuel to travel to the contract, gather as many supplies as you can afford to keep you and your crew going, look for opportunities to recruit crew temporarily or permanently to help you on a contract, consider which crew to take carefully. They have different skills and stress resistances, and who you choose can affect the story. Once you're ready, you can select the contract from the map and then your crew to proceed. Oh, so that's what this is, alright. Solheim HS-22, the rusting hulk of a pre-collapsed ship. Carston is offering you a straight barter for the feed lines you need if you bring him the data core from this derelict. Any raw scrap you pull out is yours. I need more fuel though. Or the board of the contract. Buy signal contract. The open contract for the Hexport Administration requires a fee to be paid to receive the coordinates of the job. Conway signal. Station management have located a Conway signal. They are concerned to see one so close and are looking for someone to disable its source. I think Conway signals were in the Conway signals were in the previous game. Also, damn, don't you cry for that. It's also nice to be able to do jobs that wasn't just like roll a dice and hope for the best, like in the first game. The data core, and I can buy the feed lines too. Carson has a set of refurbished feed lines exactly to the spec of the Riggs engine, but they don't come cheap. Deliver data core. Carson wants that data core from the Solheim derelict to deliver it, and the feed lines are yours, no questions asked. And Swift scraps Sol. Sell scrap. Triple S is constantly processing scrap for the factories on in the row. They'll pay good money for the raw hull plates. Data defusal shift. All scrapyards have paid data defusal to work to offer. Sorry, have paid data defusal work to offer, as old tech tends to be laced with protocols and countermeasures that need disabling. And scrapyard shift. Swift Scrap Solutions, or Triple S as it's known locally, is a chaotic, slightly terrifying scrapyard where open shifts are always available. I mean, maybe this will get me some money. Hell yeah. Hell yeah! Right. I need to get more fuel. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me temperature bazaar. I'm not gonna bother with healing, I don't think. So this is where I get the fuel, yes? Yes. Oh, I could just fill it. Yeah, we'll do that. You know what, let's go. Oh! Oh, this is kind of cool. I get like a party selection screen. Okay, so Seraphine is locked in, and I could pick either Junie or Naya, but I didn't. Oh man, I probably should have just accepted Naya's offer anyway. Maybe I'll get to do it later. I don't know. I think I can only take. Oh, okay. I can't take Seraphine with me. Locked means that I can't bring them with me, because they're locked to a specific location, right? Okay, well, let's go with Junie then, I guess. The Solheim derelict fills the cockpit windows, all twisted plates and skeletal strutwork. You watched it in horror and fascination as Seraphine completed the approach, both of you silent in the presence of this decaying beast. Now, as you settle beside it, Seraphine is the first to break the silence. This thing is already dead, he shakes his head. It's a corpse, Sleeper. He nudges the ship closer, looking for a place to dock. I touch this thing too hard, it'll crumble to dust. Let's not do that. Seraphine does a little mock salute. Aye aye, he rolls his eyes. Any other tips? You're a socky little prick, aren't you, Seraphine? Take us up there. That's the bridge. Junie points towards one end of the ship, and both you and Seraphine turn around, having forgotten she was even in the cockpit. She hasn't said a word since you departed. He glances at both of you's faces. What? She looks away. Sorry, that's where we need to go. She starts pointing. I like Junie. Seraphine nods towards Junie. She's not wrong, Sleeper. The bridge would be a good start. Let's assess the wreck first. Junie settles silently back into her seat. She looks away out of the cockpit, and you are unsure if she's upset or just embarrassed. Carefully, Seraphine brings the ship close to the derelict and glides it along the hull. The rig's lights ripple over the broken surface, finding gaps and cracks everywhere. It seems remarkable that the derelict is still held together. Shit! Seraphine hisses as a huge spinning piece of debris drifts in front of the cockpit. I promise I know English. He pushes the rig down beneath it, squeezing between the debris and the hull, and as he does so, an ear-splitting screech signals the rig scraping across the derelict's skin. You freeze for a moment, waiting for the breach sirens to sound, but the moment passes and you relax. You glance at Seraphine. His face betrays no emotion. This isn't safe, Seraphine shakes his head. I'm going to find somewhere better to settle the ship. Then we need to suit up and work our way along the hull on foot. You look back at Junie and see her still in her eyes. Not in her eyes, in her seat, eyes wide. Are you okay? Junie looks at you and there is a sudden familiar hardness in her eyes that surprises you. Then a moment later it is gone and her gaze softens. I'm okay, she smiles a flat smile. Don't worry. Seraphine brings the ship away from the derelict's hull an inch at a time, then slowly brings it around to settle close to a mostly intact hull place. Mostly intact! That doesn't exactly fill me with hope. This section is fairly free of debris. He nudges the ship a little closer. We should be good to hold here. Seraphine unclips from his seat and you and Junie follow suit. As you all glide down towards the airlock, Junie silently follows. You can't help but feel judged. As you reach the airlock, Seraphine begins suiting up. If we're lucky, that little collision hasn't started a cascade that will end with this place coming apart under our feet. Seraphine violently kicks his legs into a set of EVA trousers, clearly irritated by his own carelessness. He needs to be more careful. Seraphine shoots you a look. No shit. I like that the Sleeper and Seraphine are just like so tired of each other's shit already. This is a delicate job, Junie says quietly, almost to herself. The data call will be fragile. She casts a furtive glance in the direction of you and Seraphine. Very fragile. Stay silento. The rest of the preparation process takes place in tense silence, each of you considering the delicate job ahead. I'm going to change my batteries really quick because they're running low.